This is something J Day sent us. Let's see. Was it this you, right? Or was it small?
It could have been Maul, not me.
I think it was small. Actually, let's go to this one. I got this one pulled up. This one right here. So this is something you sent to us, J Day. I know for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's check it out. Update: 49 white South Africans, mostly Afrikaners, have arrived to the U.S. as refugees after President Trump signed an executive order recognizing them as victims of racial discrimination. They were flown in on a government chartered plane and are reportedly receiving housing, groceries, and other resettlement support. Okay. Let's see what people are talking about. But yeah, we still have the homeless veteran. But we still have homeless veterans. Very good point. Give them housing in Philly projects. We got something nice for them. So unbelievable. We can house and feed the world, but not our own citizens. Everyone voted for this. I blame y'all. Okay. Okay, so
I mean, it's ironic that they have, quote unquote, white Africans, right? So, I mean, the face of Africa is always somebody black, and South Africa, of course, they battled apartheid and so on and so forth. So this is how you get your white Afrikaners. But it's crazy how now they come over here and they just kind of get this free reign, just like everybody else. Like we can, and nobody's really complaining about it.
Ain't up and off, but I thought we were supposed to spend sending them people back. Thought we was cleaning up house.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't be letting nobody in right now. Just that's it. We right now we're in a trade war. We just got other things to do with the money. And I don't care if it's one motherfucker, let alone 49 or 79. But what I'm saying is we don't have any additional funds for that. White South Africans, a lot of times, South Africans, they run South Africa. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with, just geopolitics, but from what I understand, they run South Africa. Mm-hmm. They're only like 2% of the population, and they run 98% of that shit. Mm-hmm. The rest of the 98%, which is majority black. And you can see, just kind of the communities that they live on, and that they shit is real nice and posh, even though they got these high-ass security gates that's 15 feet tall and stuff like that. But, it's just real interesting that, they come over here. I haven't really watched Fox or any of those news channels, MSNBC, but have they talked about these Africans coming over, Afrikaners coming over?
I've heard about it, but I don't know what specific channels or platforms we're talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't something now, given that they're white, now I don't see anybody talking about from the conservative standpoint. I wouldn't look for CNN to maybe cover this, even though they should, right? It's journalism, MSNBC to cover this. But I would expect the conservatives to cover this, the Fox, right? Whatever it is on the radio, conservative, AM, is it AM 570, 560, the answer. Those guys that really talk about it, because you always complaining about the other immigrants or migrants that's coming in and people are seeking asylum. Why not talk about this?
Yeah. Let's see. Afrikaners?
Afrikaners. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Being brought to white South African defends refugee status. That's 2 days ago.
Right. That's the BBC, of course.
BBC, SABC.
Mm-hmm. What about Fox? I'm specifically.
In the meantime, the Trump administration welcomed a group of.
Hey, you pause that real quick, too. Real quick. And this is funny because it's like Fox 26. This is a specific, this is. Fox 20, is that Chicago? No, Chicago's Fox 32, right?
Yeah, Fox 32.
So, but like normally something like this would be on the grand stage, Fox grand stage. This looks like this is taken from some local city, right? And I'm just trying to figure out this is why people can't really take today's journalism serious, because when something like this is happening, we need to be objective, you know what I'm saying, to get, you know, just some opinions, or not, maybe not opinions, but just something that, you know, y'all help me out. I'm kind of lost the word here, but we need, you know, just kind of, we need
equality when it comes to this. Just to talk about this, just like if you say, okay, I know we hate to say this, but if this was Biden doing some shit like this.
Non-biased opinions is that basically what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Just give us the news or whatever. Like the mere fact that you really don't cover this at all.
It's crazy.
Is interesting.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
know, and that's what I'm saying. Give us the non-biased Fox. And then you got a black man who's going to do it.
From immigration advocates. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel has more from D.C.
As President Trump's immigration crackdown continues, welcome to the United States of America. The administration rolled out the red carpet for 59 white South Africans they call refugees, saying they faced racial discrimination back home.
We're sending a clear message that the United States really rejects the egregious persecution of people on the basis of race in South Africa.
President Trump claimed the U.S. had to take in the group because white farmers were being killed in South Africa in what the president calls a genocide. But there's no evidence that's taking place. And some civil rights advocates are now raising questions about the decision to admit only white refugees at a time when the administration has cut off access to others facing war and famine.
Flying white Afrikaners over here to the United States to find refuge when they deny refuge for everybody else from war-torn communities at that. I mean, this is very clear to us.
The White House says this group was strictly vetted and it's just the first of many that will be relocated to the U.S. But it's not clear how many will want to come because white South Africans still retain most of the country's privately held wealth.
The vast majority of South Africans are black people, and the vast majority of South Africans have no rights to land, none.
President Trump says South Africa's leadership is heading to the White House next week to discuss the resettlement plan. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
So that was Washington. I'm assuming Washington, D.C., right? So why isn't this on a larger the larger Fox platform? You know, why aren't they talking about it really? I see a couple CNNs and shit like that. Again, I mean, my issue a lot of times is just journalism. It should just be bad. And because you can't really get a real proper perspective.
Be Humble said, Jay, you know why people voted for this? Brown people are being sent back.
Listen, I'm for everybody being sent back. Get the fuck on. That's my whole thing, right? I believe you stay over there until we figure out what we're gonna do over here. Everybody. Right? I don't care what color you is. You stay the fuck over there until we figure out what we're gonna do over here.
So we figure out and get out.
What we're gonna do with our homeless, what we're gonna do with our veterans, right? A lot of veterans are losing. A lot of the people who are lower income. We got a lot going on over here.
It's a fact. It's a big fact.
Yeah, I don't understand the purpose in this. Like, I think one of the things that's complained about in the mainstream media is the fact that America has its hands in too many pots, trying to help out so many other people and so many people of different places, that we're giving so much away. And like people in the comments said, we're dedicating time, effort, funds, food to these people that are from Africa, bringing them here and then housing them or doing whatever. And then it sounds like they were trying to figure out how to send them back. Why? I don't understand it. Do they have some sort of special interest? Are they a part of some sort of special group?
Their luggage look nice. Like motherfuckers came over with luggage. Welcome to the United States of America. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I don't get the point in this. I'm curious to know if there was, like I said, these people have some sort of special connection to America, some sort of way, to where they would get this focus. How did they know that this particular group of people were the ones that were getting racially discriminated against? One, why is their racial discrimination and whatever they're experiencing in Africa an American problem? And why are we making all these provisions in the same way that the same provisions that we were complaining about the illegal immigrants from the Venezuelans and all them. We're making all of those provisions available to them and not giving them to American people. Clearly, America has the funds and the capability to fund the homelessness, to feed the homeless. Because we keep making provisions for people that aren't American constantly. It's been happening for the past at least 5 years. That's on a mass scale to where everybody knows about it. Immigration, yes, has always been a thing. Before my personal troll Be Humble comes and says that. Yes, it's been a thing. Immigration, absolutely. Why are we still focusing on that?
Come on, Mike. I ain't even think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I did not think about that at all.
Elon Musk.
That's Elon Musk's kids?
Them his people. That's a good question there.
That is. That's a great question.
Okay, Be Humble.
Is that proven, Be Humble, or is that just speculation?
No, he just threw that out there.
Yeah, threw that out there.
Yeah, and I was asking genuinely because, like I said, like I always say, you show me proof of something, and if it makes sense to me, then I'll never argue about something again. I'll never argue about that again.
He's just saying Elon Musk is from South Africa. That's what it's connected.
No, you say Elon Musk is from South. Yeah, we know that. But is that? I mean, those people though, it does kind of make sense. Like, just random South Africans want to come to the United States because of discrimination. But you guys hold most of the country's wealth. How are you getting discriminated against? And
that's why another reason why I'm asking, why are we making provisions for them? The white people basically own Africa, right? They basically control Africa.
I thought China did.
Shit, they making their moves. De Beers, if you're familiar with the Beers company, which is, they control 85% of the diamonds that come throughout the world. Those diamond mines in Africa, Angola and all that type shit. Like, that's De Beers.
So and then even more than that, right? The post we saw said 49. The video we just saw said 59.
Yeah, numbers all over the place. Nothing accurate.
So where do we draw the line?
It could be more than that. Because I was like, the fact that you're getting this wrong, this is just basic shit, and you're getting that wrong. It could have been a whole 747 full of people. And it's kind of like the whole catching the drug. Catching a trailer full of drugs. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, they got that one, but now it's 10 of them in trailers that went past.
In all directions.
Right.
So yeah, no.
Afrikana's coming near you.
Be Humble said the new South African government are taking land and changing laws there.
Oh shit, that's their shit. You know what I mean?
Again, cool, but how is that an American issue?
That's true. I don't.
No, yeah, it's wild. It's wild, and I just like you said it before, Jay. Every day, they're not from here. Well, you said something like, "I'm for everybody.
Yeah.
Get the F out."
Yeah, go ahead on, and let us figure out what we're gonna do here, and then because I believe that it's healthy when you do have immigration and you want to help people, right? But you have to be able to help yourselves and your citizens of yourself first. You got a lot of people out here that's struggling. I just went to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Right? Cincinnati, I'm not, because I don't want to seem like I'm shitting on somebody, right? But Cincinnati, because when I go to different cities, I like to look, just drive around. I like to, get the vibe of the people. I like to kind of research. I was having just a quick discussion with the one of the owners of the cigar lounge, white guy, and people like to know, just like when you go to another person's country, they like to know that you know their language, or, you're trying to attempt to learn the language.
Yeah.
When you go to a different city, it's always kind of cool to kind of know a little history about their city. And, what I'm saying? I wasn't really, I knew, I was like, I was in Over the Rhine neighborhood. That was just a neighborhood. It's a neighborhood in Cincinnati. And you can kind of tell it's, fighting gentrification. It's a back and forth tug of war thing, but they're building a stadium, look like maybe to the north or whatever. And so you can tell some gentrification's coming on. There's a lot of white people with dogs and shit, but then
Starbucks.
It's some Starbucks.
Ooh,
right?
They coming.
Right? The white people are definitely there, and it's battling the black population that looked like they previously held it or whatever. But before that, the history is that Cincinnati is a German city right? Because you can kind of see a lot of the German influences and how things were built. So people like, people like to know that you know a little bit about their history, that you're just not there just kind of
freeloading.
Yeah,
just like what buddy say in Rush Hour? Just we know, I'm gonna slap you. Just we know, I'm gonna slap you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then Chris Tucker hands him the money, the universal dollar. And he said, "You are not speaking my language."
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, money is definitely the universal language, but knowing that, I like to know that, okay, the poverty demographics, right? The demographics of the city, the poverty of the city. So, 1 out of every 4 people are basically, live below the poverty line. That's a pretty high number. That's 25%, right? Black people, if I'm not mistaken, they represented somewhere around 30% of the population in Cincinnati. This is Cincinnati proper, not metro, but just within city limits. So, and you can kind of tell. You can tell black, and not just black people. You hear white people out there. They were struggling. I'm not sure if they were on meth or whatever, and black people on crack. They had their own choice of drugs, but I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but you can tell people are really struggling. And when you go to these different cities, I'm not sure when you went to Detroit, could you see them all, or you just kind of more so in the business district?
I was like in the business district downtown. I really didn't see that many bums where I was. I didn't see that many. But no, now one thing I would say about Detroit, and I think you told me about this, and I think what you call it told me about this too. For it to be a long ass block, nigga, it's only 4 houses on this block. It's crazy.
Yeah. In Detroit?
Yes. You go down another block, it's 2 houses, one across the street and one over here. Like, it's so much vacant land and vacant property, and it's too close to downtown for comfort for me. Now, I can understand that as more away from downtown area, but when you go to downtown, you expecting for it to be lit and popping downtown and the cribs to be nice and everything when you going downtown. We shouldn't see all this forest land and just like high-ass bushes and shit around here.
Yeah, you got to blame that on the city for not, keeping up. The area of the land, but
what charging $45 a part?
Yeah,
that's a vacant lot.
Somebody's stealing. Somebody's stealing, and it goes back to that. But again, we got so much going on. You go to these different cities, especially like on the east of the Mississippi, including maybe St. Louis and shit like that. But cities east of the, I don't care if it's north or south, right? Anywhere where the black people really live and reside, you can kind of tell that these guys are struggling, right? I go to Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee. Milwaukee, struggling. I live on the south side. A good chunk of the south side, struggling. About the whole west side is struggling. I ain't going to lie to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of see it. And Cincinnati, the city itself, is struggling. So while we're out here trying to help people, right?
We can be building this shit up.
We could be rebuilding. Again, we showed China, building a whole bridge across a fucking gorge in like 2 years or whatever, 6 months, however long it took. But again, we're pushing dirt back and forth on 294. We've been doing this for this is all we doing, back and forth, and you guys, you put the cones in different directions like we making progress. You see, we go this way now.
East side of the street, down on the west side of the street.
Like you making progress. All you doing is pushing cones.
I just seen that shit coming down here.
Bro, I drove on 294. I was like, that same pile of rocks was just over there.
Not doing nothing. Right, but we got a lot of infrastructure that we need to be doing, just reworking and rerouting here, right? And you guys are squandering money and probably stealing, trying to bring other people over and trying to fight other people's wars.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie to you too. In Detroit too, for it to be downtown, I saw too many big ass buildings empty, vacant, cones up, boards up, blocked off. Like, nah, that shouldn't be happening downtown either. Because like downtown Chicago is not like, from what I've seen in the business, ain't no vacant shit around downtown Chicago, period. They don't play that shit.
Chicago do a good job of masking it. I think that's what it is. It
might be vacant, but it still look like somebody's there.
Because Chicago got so many big buildings, you don't know which one isn't vacant, right? Okay. So it's a few of them that's vacant, like you wouldn't know.
Yeah, but it's not boarded up.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. It does a good job of masking it. Yeah. Like you wouldn't know.
You know that's boarded up in Detroit.
Yeah, it's been like that.
And it seemed like, because like you always say, and we're in Chicago, we're part of like a big Lake Michigan, all the lakes, the 4 Great Lakes. Fresh bodies of water. Five Great Lakes. I'm sorry, my bad. 5 Great Lakes. It's the fresh bodies of water. So Detroit is one of them cities that's by a fresh body of water or like close to a body of water. So it shouldn't be you feel me? No reason that Detroit should look like that. Because you got all this that can come in and import this right there next to Canada. It should be a nice, deep, dope city. You feel me? But hey.
Yeah, I agree with you. When I went to downtown Detroit, I was, because I listen to Anton.
Yeah.
And he always talks about how great, from an infrastructure standpoint, downtown Detroit is in particular.
Compared to what?
And he compared, now, that's the thing.
He's compared Detroit to what?
That's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
So
to the city? What? Fuck out of here.
And that's why I agree.
Come on, man. I mean, come on, man. I know you a Detroit people. You know what I'm saying? I love my Michiganders and stuff like that. Y'all like.
Y'all not fucking with the city.
Come on, man.
Y'all not fucking with the city.
Man.
And I was specifically going down there and comparing. Their downtown, their entire downtown is like a quarter of downtown Chicago. At least it looked like it. Because it was small.
Y'all ain't fucking with downtown Oak Park. What is wrong with him? He tripping.
I was finna say fucking with downtown Milwaukee.
No, they ain't fucking with downtown Oak Park.
Y'all got to get that people mover thing, like that people mover.
I think they got it, if I'm not mistaken.
No, y'all got to get it the fuck up out of there. That thing go in circles for like, I'm not. Look, I want Detroit to come back. Right? We got a lot of. Because for me, it's another city that I can come visit. You know what I mean? And just I like to visit stuff within the region, right? I think because Detroit was once that city.
Yeah, but he lost me. He gonna sit up there and compare Detroit to downtown Detroit.
Yeah,
downtown Chicago.
From a visual standpoint, there's no question Chicago's better. But he's talking about it from a like I said, infrastructure standpoint.
It's not messing with.
What? Like what? Like what infrastructure?
You have to have him break it down because I don't.
And you let that shit ride.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, all right.
Pause. Hey, hold on, bro, because you tripping. I asked them what I did to niggas in Jamaica. Don't talk about Chicago, boy. I don't give a fuck what's going on. Don't talk about Chicago or don't talk about Miami. Period. Around me. Nigga, them hot dogs might be whatever, but them the best hot dogs to us. Them glizzies good to us, motherfucker. Fuck wrong with you.
Sheesh.
Don't be talking about our beefs. That shit might be whatever.
Beefs.
Yeah, don't talk about none of that shit.
Talking about our glizzies and beefs.
Don't be talking about none of that
beefs.
Shit. Don't talk. Boy, ask my wife. My wife was sitting there in shock because I had to go off on some white folk. Don't talk about her. Talking about some. Oh, they're really not. Hey, go get y'all cardboard ass pizza in New York and them big ass rats. Don't come talking about Chicago.
You know what Michigan or Detroit does have that I do notice is that they had better, if we're talking about houses, as far as for middle classes, they had better looking middle class houses. I mean, the ones that's left, right? Because I'm being honest, right? But the ones that's left, but they had bigger, nicer middle class houses that I've noticed. And even because if you go on like Redfin or whatever, you just kind of look through it. Yeah. And they're not really that expensive now. Like those big ass homes, it's like, you get 6 bedrooms and shit like that for like $250,000. I mean, you probably live on the block with somebody else, but you could kind of tell like Detroit again used to be popping. Like if this is Detroit in the 50s and 60s, and before the auto industry went kind of kaput, like Detroit was definitely popping. Detroit was that city. It's not the shit on Detroit.
But still,
don't compare that to the city, boy.
No, because I wish you, Ma, I wish you were able to see the Riverwalk so we can compare it. When I tell you it's night and day difference,
I haven't been to the Riverwalk of Detroit.
It is. I ain't go. What?
Chicago Riverwalk is busting.
Man, look here. I ain't even got to see it to know it ain't doing. If they downtown like downtown Oak Park, that shit not comparing like
First of all, bro. And downtown Oak Park is busting.
Oh, I wish I would have told you about Sweetwater.
Like you feel me? Downtown Oak Park be busting.
Downtown, yeah, absolutely.
Lake,
downtown Oak Park.
Busting. Yeah, Lake. Oh, south, north, all that. Yeah, all that up in there. No, it's not messing with that, man. And I was just telling my wife that. No, it's not.
Be Humble said, y'all gonna have to tell me some good spots to visit. My son wanted to go. He chose Chicago over San Diego and San Francisco. You want to save some money? Then yeah.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, I think I'm on vacation the week of Juneteenth.
Oh, that's summertime shot. Y'all gonna be right in the middle of it.
Yeah, you're gonna be
go right downtown. There's gonna be a lot of boats out there for that Juneteenth weekend or whatever. Get on one of them boats or something like that. Go see a little tour or something.
And we got a beach too for you. You know what I mean? So you don't miss it all because I see San Diego is on the list. The only thing you're gonna get in San Diego is maybe some good Mexican and good weather.
No, we got a good Mexican here too.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of Mexican. I don't know what it compares to San Diego.
Food wise, you finna go back.
San Francisco, you're gonna get dookie on the streets.
We don't play that here.
San Francisco, you're gonna get shit on the streets.
Nah, but yeah, you're gonna have a good time here though, bro. Summertime shot. I know y'all can probably be staying downtown somewhere.
Yeah, let us know. Be humble. Let us know. We've been on for about 8 minutes. Y'all got time for this or?
Yeah, knock it out.
I don't know why I sent this. Really.